message. Okay, so while we're waiting for our guest of honor, let's all share, I don't know, I know with double credit and all this amazing stuff in October, someone unmute and share something maybe they're doing with their customers or maybe with their unit, or I don't care who shares. I just want us all to share ideas.
I can share, Jenny. It's Paula Silva.
Hi, Paula. How are you?
Hi. Good. So Catherine Peach and I are partnering up together. We are doing a masquerade party, on a virtual masquerade party for our guests. So basically, it's going to be all about masking. And we are giving them a choice. So it'll be 2 dates. They can pick whichever date works best for them. And we'll just have fun with some masking and some Halloween fall type of games and prizes, and it'll be great.
Oh, I love that idea. We're doing like a Saturday sip and see, and my goal is to have $1,000 day. So I know we can all pull up like the documents for like how to have $1,000 day, but I'm really prepping. I'm taking the idea from last week from Michelle Cape and utilizing that. Oh wait, there's Pam. Hold on. I'll say this first and I'll look at her message. Sorry, friends. I'm taking her idea of, with the socks and all that for, to businesses and all that. But my goal is October 22nd to have $1,000 day along with my in-person kind of sip and see. So it's kind of like a preview. So.
Nice.
Oh gosh. Okay. Here's what's going to happen. Pam's on an important call that she cannot get removed from. So we're going to pivot today. So that's okay. Things happen sometimes in our lives, right? And unforeseeable. So what we can do today is we can all share our amazing October ideas or anything they're pumped up about or anything you ladies have been doing that you think's amazing in your business, because I think we're all in different seminar divisions. We're all part of different national areas. We all have a million different ideas. So let's just do that. Let's just share today for a few minutes. I love Paula's idea. I'm excited about my $1,000 babe and going to business. I had a friend, Janelle Pagan. She does a thing called Pampering Pumpkins. When Melinda Balling was on, she taught Janelle that. She sold $1,500 to a business. Woo! And they take the Pampering Pumpkins to like domestic violence shelters. Basically, they're just pampering women in need. Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
I know. I was just so impressed with that. I'm like, that is phenomenal. So in one business, like he was so passionate about that, because it's breast cancer awareness, domestic violence. Like there's so many great things that our company does that, if we match that, businesses and people want to be part of that. So what's everybody else doing?
It's true. Jenny, I've done that. This is Lynette Bickley in Colorado Springs, and talking about your Pampering Pumpkins, I have a consultant that's a pastor, a longtime consultant. She was a former director, car winner in Hays, Kansas with me. But anyway, she has at their church, they have, of course, a food bank. And so we've done Pampering Pumpkins before. This was even pre-COVID. And I would send down things and she's like, okay, great, I'll get the pumpkins. And so I would send down things for that. Now, those were donated items, of course, and that's fine. Because sometimes you need to do that too. But she said it was so fun to have the families come, and then the moms got to pick out a Pampering Pumpkin with all kinds of goodies in it just for them. And she said it was so fun. Yes. And their church loved it. They couldn't believe, how many of these Pampering Pumpkins we got to do for them. And of course, the church people were just like, wow. So it like made us famous, too, with their church. And of course, then they wanted to support, her with getting her Mary Kay and stuff. But that's just a side fun idea to share with you. So.
Yeah, I love that idea. Rebecca Allen is in New Mexico, and they have Carlsbad, New Mexico does a whole big thing for, October for breast cancer awareness where they let her pull her Cadillac inside and they, did the kissing booth for like $1. And then it was so fun to watch that. She went live there, and it's, I think anytime that we can match donations and help good causes, I just think Mary Kay would be proud of that.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay. Does anybody else have an amazing idea they're using maybe this seminar year or especially this month? We're just going to pivot today because, darn it, sometimes things happen like that. That's foreseeable. And we're just going to just pray for her. And that's what has to happen sometimes. So anybody else have something that I'm excited about maxing out double credit in all categories. How about everyone else?
Yes, definitely.
Well, I think you just have to make that plan, look at your day book and say, okay, these are people I'm going to talk to. These are the people, like I made a list. Everywhere I'm going to go, businesses, people I'm going to sell to, bookings I'm going to make. I think it was Michelle Cape that put that notebook for her stars together last weekend, when she trained last week. I did that for my stars, but I did it for myself. And it's just been sanity for me and prepping for the October month. We got to get on it right now and setting those appointments up. And so we have the sales to max it out. And I think prepping for the holidays. Does anybody on here do their holiday open house in October? I always do mine the first part of November. I don't know if anybody does or not.
Uh-huh. Hi, Jen. Go ahead.
Hey, Jenny, I think we have some newer people on too. Can we real quick run through the double credit or the promotions for October, since we're still kind of relatively, it's the 6th, and we can just talk about a plan for, how would we help our consultants or unit members to maximize or to, know what to do, this month too.
Yes, I love that. So yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure you've seen Rocktober, but basically what it is national quota sales, national quota sharing, and unit. So your unit wholesale, you get to max those out. And so it's double credit up to the max. I love the graphics people have created for that. But here's what I love. One, they have the $20 come in, right? They have the $90, then they still have their $45 sample kit. But I'm telling you, with that Skin Vigorant brush, here's I'll just tell you one approach I did. I did the math for some of my girls, like where they were already. I've already done this to send it out to them. So I went to National Court, the reports. I went to National Court of Sales, and I looked at Princess Court and National Court, and I did the math, like what you would normally have to do, from this month on to finish those courts. And then I gave them the numbers if they maxed out this month, up to their, when they do the 2,000 wholesale. I told them, this is maxing it out. It basically does 3 months in one. And these would be from this month on, if you hit your 2,000 wholesale, this is what you would have to do each month from this point on to do that. I think it was eye-opening. I don't know if anybody else does this too, but I do like Duchess Court and Loyalty Court and things like that too in my unit for the year. It kind of like Denise Kacharsky shared with us, the different levels. And I did that. And I put it out there and I was like, even my gals who maybe only order once or twice a year, friends, I sent that to them. I said, even for a 225 order, it almost puts in what you already have in. Some of them, it put them in my lowest court. And they just didn't see that. So I'm like, even if you just get your own holiday stuff that you need, or for those who are prepping for holiday open houses or Pink Friday or Cyber Monday, I told all my consultants, I'm like, you got to prep ahead of time. So they have all these benefits to start your business right now. So that's going to help us maximize national quota sharing, right? So if you have anyone on your radar that you've talked to, I've been making not text, but personal phone calls to anyone in my unit members, customers that we share with that have been part of our events or What If Wednesdays or whatever in my personal, and said, in 22 years, I've never seen this deal. And I don't think there will ever be a better one. I don't know if it's still on your radar, but let's talk. I know everyone needs chicken and gas money right now. So let's talk about it. And so, people are like, yep, send it to me, send it to me, send it to me. So I'm excited about it. But I definitely think if you're a consultant, go look at your reports, see where you are, and write down a piece of paper. Like, what do you normally reorder? Could maxing out this month put you on the radar for Princess Court or National Court? You know, if it's something that you've never been before, you can really do 3 months in one this month, and it doesn't matter which court you're excited about or both. So, what's everybody else doing? I would love ideas.
Well, Jennifer, I wanted to say that I was on NSD Janice Trude's director meeting today, and she had Tracy Giese on, and she and another guy who works at corporate, and she was really getting them to tell us, decide this month if the Princess Court people are going to get to walk across the stage. So she really pressed them on that. So I don't know if we'll see anything about that this month, but she said that could really help us maximize maximize it this month.
Well, yeah, because some are
So
looking at that, but we can't guarantee walking across stage. And I don't know about you guys, some of my girls got really excited when that caught on last year. And I think that's amazing. So did they say if they were going to take it to the higher ups and let us know?
Well, she pressed them a lot on it, so I think they've really got to, to at least go talk about it, because she said, yeah, it's really nice, but she said it would be really nice to have to know this month and be able to tell our people this month. So they were talking about the whole process of sashes, and that it's quite a process to get sashes on that many people, and so they were even talking about maybe putting the sashes in the pickup packet, or something, so that they could put on their own sash, but they would at least have a sash. So, they were, they threw it around.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know that sash line last year was quite an ordeal. A lot of people missed the royalty reception because they bottlenecked. Well, here's the thing. How they had that set up needed a little more forethought, I think. We've all been out of practice for 3 years. So God bless them for trying, but everyone bottlenecked at the beginning, didn't realize there was this whole other line. I'm like, keep walking. And then, people missed the royalty reception, couldn't get their sash in time to go eat. So I know they said they were working on that. So hopefully they, I don't know, talk to Chick-fil-A people. They know how to do a line, man. Get them in there. They'll tell us how to do it. So anybody else have an amazing idea they want to share? And I'm sorry about today, friends. It just sometimes happens like that.
I have a couple of ideas that I wanted to share. Thanks.
Yes.
This is Faith here in Connecticut. Okay, so I had to make some notes while I was running around to try to find the pen that I love to use when I'm taking these notes. Okay, so first of all, thanks for all those great ideas from last week and other weeks. And I love being on this Thursday afternoon call at 2:00. Thank you again. So here's what I've done in the past. All right, so especially whether there was double credit month or not. So first of all, I love that idea about adopted grandparent. And if any of you have ever done anything at any nursing facilities or long-term care facilities, whatever, that would be a great place to start. And you would talk to the director of recreation or maybe the director of nursing for that. And so what I had in mind was, this past weekend was my 50th high school reunion. Let me tell you, lucky I have a brain right now. I called my wealthiest friends first and started with them. And in the past few years, have asked them for just donations. I gave them a discount. I didn't even care if I made any money, maybe $10. If it was a hand cream and it was 12, I charged them 8. I didn't really care about keeping the money. I was interested more in the production. I also shared that idea with 7 consultants in my unit last Thursday after we finished this, because I knew on Friday I wouldn't have any time to do that, meaning that it was the end of the month and I had to leave on Friday afternoon to go to the reunion. But that has worked well. And some of them were excited, and I told them I would get back with them this week to find out, how they made out with their list of where they think they might like to go, and ask those people that were in charge if they would be interested in doing something like that. So that was one thing. The $1,000 day, I've done that many times. I've been in Mary Kay 34 years. And I have done that many times. And I know I have some information on it. I just have to go back and find that in the right file because I have three. Never mind. I just have to go back and find that. I've got a desktop and a laptop and a combined, the desktop and the laptop are connected. And I've got like 3 different sets of files because when they all got connected, they got separated. So it's a little tricky finding them, but I can do it. And I always had success with that. And I started that when I was a beauty consultant before I was a director. And some were on postcards, that's all we had was postcards and, regular mail. So, but I have updated that since, and I just have to go back and find that. I've also had an idea that helped me finish the Court of Sales when I needed 4,000 retail. I remember talking to my senior director and I was complaining, of course. And I'm like, oh, I got to do 4,000. And she said, okay, you're complaining. Are you telling me that you're going to sit in the stands and watch all those people go across the stage for the Court of Sales and you're just going to sit there? You go to work. I'm hanging up. Goodbye.
Oh,
So I made a list of about 20 names of customers who I thought would be able to pass around a bag, like a shopping, not a big one, like a regular, 6 to 8 inch wide shopping bag full of goodies. So I filled it with candy and samples. And, this is before we had cell phones, basically. So this is early after 2000, somewhere between 2000 and 2000 and maybe 9, maybe. I can't remember when we got cell phones. First it was a flip phone, then it was a BlackBerry. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I made this list of people and I called them up and I told them what I wanted to do. And then so here I put sales tickets, business cards, all kinds of samples, whatever we had. And I created a hostess contest that they could win $100 in cash. Of course, because I wanted to get people who would, if they won, they would use that 100 to get a starter kit. And then I also had a contest for all of the customers that they collected orders from. And I put all of those sales tickets in a drawing for $100.
That's awesome.
So I did finish that court. There's no question about that. I did. God, no wonder it's so dark. I don't have the lamp on. Anyway, I'm like, why does it look so weird? Why do I look so weird? So so many people. So I had to mail some envelopes and then some I delivered. And I chose people that I knew would probably work with me. And I also tried to look for people in my customer file that I knew worked in offices where they could go up and down and pass you to the bag or the envelope around. And all they had to do was write their name, their phone number, and some of them wrote their credit card numbers right on the sales ticket. And some I had to call. There was a variety of steps to doing this. So I have a flyer that I put on the front of each bag that said hostess contest. And then I had a different flyer, and I do have those that inside the bag, like maybe 15 of those flyers that anybody who purchased a product, I think it was $10 or more, they would be entered in a contest to win $100 also.
That's awesome.
And I also had maybe 3 skincare classes. And I couldn't figure out this idea until I'm going to say maybe the 10th of the month. Somewhere between the 7th and the 10th. And it was incredibly successful. That doesn't mean it'll be successful for everybody, but I did have a long list of hostesses. Now, here's what happened. So some of the people ended up not doing anything at all. And some people only had maybe 2 orders or 3 orders, and some people had like 8 or 9 or 10. It was anywhere between 2 and maybe 10 or 11. I had so many sales tickets. Now, I didn't recruit any of those people, but I had all this money.
Yes.
But the girl who won the girl whose name I chose from the hostesses, she did become a beauty consultant with her $100 that she won. And it just happened to be that our year-end party was a pool party at someone's house. And my customer who won the $100 lived right near that house, and she came as my guest. So I told the story about everything, and then told everybody that she was the winner, and it was really exciting. It was just a coincidence, really. A God thing is what I call it.
Yeah.
So that really works. So it's like you need Santa's helpers. Remember that phrase? You need little Santa's helpers. You just can't do everything by yourself. You just need help. And so that's where the customers came in. And friends who said, okay, I'll order a mascara or whatever.
Yeah.
And so that was that. Oh, then I have to tell you the customer who won the $100. So just on a side note, the customer that won the $100, and I didn't want to cheat and go and pick another ticket because I had plenty of what I needed to finish. Bought a navy eyeliner.
That's crazy.
And she would not meet with me, no matter what I said. She would not meet with me. You know, she just insisted, you know, she didn't drive. She took the train or she took the bus, whatever. No matter what I asked her, she just wouldn't meet with me in person. So I just had to mail her a money order. That was the end of that. But the other girl, you know, and she was in my unit for like, I don't know, 5 years, and she was terrific. And, you know, now she's not, but that's okay. It, you know, season,
Yeah.
reason. Okay. So that was the court story, and that's how I managed that. And I even have those flyers, and I think, and they all have to get updated because they're many, many years old. Some of them might be in Publisher, but I can convert them into, they were probably all in Publisher. I can convert them into PDFs. But I did make a lot of progress. Oh, and I have been asked the places where I've gone for the, if you have friends that work in nursing facilities, that work in assisted living facilities, or I would start with customers and ask them who they know who works in any facility of that nature. And that way you can have an in. And the other person that's important in the assisted living facilities is the administrator. I'm not sure if you know the background of how those facilities work. Their responsibility is to get people in, you know, to get people to live in there. So people come to their office and they meet with them. Their title is called the administrator. That's also another person that's good to talk with.
Oh my goodness.
But I would start with customers and ask them, you know, because that's how I handled so many sales in November and December, 4 categories of sales. This is my other tip. So I contacted people in insurance, hospitals, accountants, and attorneys. Like in October, November. I asked my customers for referrals on who they used for those categories. Attorneys, accountants, what were the other 2? Insurance. A lot of people do their insurance online, so they don't have a person, so to speak. Or your finance person, if you have a financial, you know, advisor kind of thing. And they gave me names of those 4 groups of people to contact. So I always did something it's a double whammy in October. It reminds me of May, where you've got nurses and teachers. In October, you've got domestic violence and breast cancer. Or the Mary Kay Foundation, two tree branches. But I always had luck with the guys. So if you have a lot of friends that are guys that have some cash, I went to them first because it made me feel better getting some orders like right away. And then I also asked them, who do you know that you think might like to chip in?
Yeah. Love these ideas. Man, I love this. This is amazing. Faith, I don't know if we're friends on Facebook or not. And I know you said some of those ideas are like older forms or whatever, but who cares? Could you
Somebody can
box
do it.
me or send them to me or private message me in some I'll tell
And-
you my cell phone too, my cell phone number.
Okay,
Because, people can update them themselves or figure it out from there. But just that way they have it, sometimes we need a visual of the idea.
I actually had asked you once in a chat for your email and I wrote it down. But let me just pull up the chat here. I have to change my view. Exit full screen. Okay. If you want to put your email in there too, I'll have my email has my signature in it and everything I have is in there. So
Okay,
I
I'll
can
put my
email you.
email in the chat. Yes, I would. And then I can
Then I'll have
attach
to look
it
back
to
on.
this.
I have some other, I have so many. I just have to go back and think of some more. Oh, I do have to tell you about the Halloween thing though. So do you know about Kristen Sharp's, the goodie bags?
Uh-uh.
Really? Okay. So I'm going to step back for a minute. So I had this idea. So a bit, I have to figure out where I was when I had these ideas and I did these kinds of things and what house I was in. And that tells me what year I did these things. So I've lived in this house 22 years in December. Before I lived here, I lived not too far down the road, 4 miles. And I had this, so this is 23 to more years ago. So I would put, when the kids came to Halloween, for Halloween, because my kids are now grown. And when I started, my son was 11 months old. And now that kid just had his first wedding anniversary. He's 35. So I put a little goodie bag of some sort, in some of the kids'
Oh,
bags
yes.
when they came to the door. I have to tell you this, not to scare you or not to keep you from trying, because things change and it's a different life, even from 5 and 7 years ago. It's a completely different life. But when I put this envelope with goodies in it, or maybe it was like a little bag, I can't remember exactly what I used, a cello bag. I had my card and had some lipstick and, here's a treat for the mom. Some woman took my business card and, ripped it in half and put it in an envelope and sent it to me and said something like, this is a children's holiday.
Oh,
Not a purpose, not a reason to collect sales, something like that. I thought, oh my God, poor thing. Anyway, so something might backfire. Okay, I'm just sharing.
yeah.
And what I want to share with you in that same thought is that it's okay, that may happen, and let it go. Something
Yep.
is going on, with that person, perhaps, and they couldn't catch the heart behind it.
Yeah.
It's not always about a recruit, or it's not always about a sale. It's just about sometimes just cheering people up, and that's what I've always done, and that's why I probably have been in more nursing facilities in this state than any other person, because I just wanted to always give it away now.
I love that.
Anyway, so where was I going with that? So that's the Halloween story. But okay, so Kristen Sharp. So right now, probably in September, they started making goodie bags to put in, making goodie bags to give away the entire month, not just Halloween night, the entire month. And it's Halloween, here's a little treat. And it doesn't even matter where you are. The supermarket, the dry cleaner, wherever. Now, I didn't have time to do that for my reunion, but I did some other stuff with that, which,
Yeah.
I'm sending out all these little bags, and I just didn't want to start giving them away there. There was so much going on, and there's no time to talk about anything. And we barely can even talk to the people that we're with about anything, People get sidetracked. You start one conversation and in 2 seconds, you've had 3 more and you've never finished any of them. So I kind of didn't want to start to pull out all this Mary Kay stuff, but some of those people are already my customers from my reunion. But so she makes these little goodie bags, and there's little sayings, and I have them on right here on this laptop. And so if somebody wants to share something, I can look for them, and then I don't know. Can I attach it to the chat? I'll send it to you, and then you can.
Yeah, I'll attach it to this recording, and I'll attach all the things you sent me, and I'll post it where I post everything like I normally do every week. And I'll put all your ideas in there. Thank you so much for sharing all these. These are amazing. And Everybody's sharing their ideas on today. Isn't that fun? We can pivot and look at all of us. It doesn't even matter. We can pivot real quick and it's no big deal. So I just
Okay.
appreciate that. Faith, you're amazing. I'm
course.
so grateful for you.
Thanks. Thank you. Well,
Thank
we're
you for
grateful
that.
back at you all. There's lots of cooks in the kitchen, but there's always a different recipe.
Yes. Oh, I love that saying. That's amazing. And gosh, I hope you all have an amazing Thursday. And don't worry, we'll reschedule Pam Kelly. She already messaged me. She's like, I'm like, do not be sorry. Listen, that's what's so great about what we do. And we can all, pivot and pitch it for everybody. And we're going to be back here next week. It's going to be amazing. I'll save this recording. Faith, you
Better.
email me all that stuff. I'll
Okay.
post everything everywhere. And you guys have a terrific Thursday and a great start to our double credit.
Yep. It can be
Thank
done.
you, ladies.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Okay, bye, ladies.
Bye.